Arsenal has been the most consistent team in the past 3 seasons. What happened with Arsenal? It's not like their football changed. Their football did not change. All they did was they had to beef up. When I mean beef up, they had to be more intentional about not conceding goals. They have to be more intentional about if they cannot create with stylish play, they can use set pieces to do it. So it's working for them. In the last 3 seasons, you're talking about Arsenal having to have scored nearly 30 goals with set pieces. It is working for them.
Thank you for visiting Football YouTube channel. If you're coming here for the very first time and you've not subscribed, please help us subscribe because we want to grow the channel, and we're asking, it won't do you any harm if you just hit the subscribe button and also hit the notification bell so that when we drop our content and our videos, you will be notified. And also help like our videos, because the more you like our videos, the more it gives us the visibility out there on the YouTube platform. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the Football Football Show, and it's good to be back after a quite long hiatus. But it's good to have the guys back. Perry, what's up? Perry was on the fan reaction for Liverpool versus Man City, so Perry had not been away in a very long time, and Chimamaka was in our Nigerian session that we had for the pre-qualifiers. Preview of the qualifiers, which we just won 4-1. Usime scoring, and Biola was just saying it before we started the recording that he needed to be slapped, scoring 2 goals and huffing his shirt. Goals he should have buried in the 90 minutes within the regulation time, missing loads of chances. Biola, what's up? How you doing now?
Man, I'm good though. I'm very good. As you can see,
yeah,
my jersey doesn't have Super Eagles on it because the jersey I'm wearing, they are going to World Cup.
Yeah, and that jersey epitomizes a manager in EPL that won the EPL last season. This season bolstered the squad, spending close to £500 million. When the first 5 games, we saw how they struggled, but a lot of football fanatics, football pundits said they were going to, get back. They're going to ride that storm. We saw how they struggled the first 5 games. And after the first 5 games of the EPL, it's been 4 straight away losses and 1 home loss and just 1 win. So out of 11 games, they've won 5 games and lost 6 in the EPL. So let's start our conversation from there. Yeah, they've won 6. They've won 6 and lost 5. And at the moment, Manchester United sits above Liverpool in the EPL. Let's start from there.
I actually blame Amorim for this, to be honest, because I look at some of the results that we've had in the past. I mean, I credit to Perry. Perry did say that United fans were overreacting. I remember the last episode that we did, we were talking about whether United were on a spiral of bad results or whether there was an overreaction. And Perry did say that, it was too early in the season to determine whether Amorim was doing a bad job or not. We needed time. And look, 1 or 2 of these other results going in the direction of a win, it will be second at the moment. So it's been a good run for Man United. And again, the reason I have gone down this tangent is because when United beat Liverpool, I think there was a point where we were above Liverpool on points, and then Liverpool went and they came above us again, and then Anasol said, no, this is not right. Even if we have the same points, we have to have a lower goals difference. And posted Man City, we collected 3, to ruin their goals difference so that United could be above Liverpool, on goals difference. Anasol deserves a lot of credit because many Liverpool managers would not do this for Man United. And he's clearly a man of high timber and caliber. This is why I love the Dutch. The Dutch, they do well to make sure that my team looks good. We won trophies under our last 2 Dutch managers with Van Gaal and Ten Hag. And Arne Slot is making sure that we continue that streak of being successful. I think Liverpool don't have anything to worry about. More serious. I think it's still early in the season. You can clearly see that Slot is trying to imbibe his ideas into the team. And it's evident that last season he saw a winning formula. He decided not to make too many changes. And now he's making those changes. He's trying to build a team around Florian Wirtz, who is the future of Liverpool, and that is going to take a while. Liverpool are a team that is used to attacking down the flanks, and now they're trying things differently. They're building more patience. It's not in a way that they've played for a long time. So I think it's just a matter of time. Look, Liverpool are going to finish in the top four, whether we like it or not. That's the fact. That's it's a prediction that will become a fact. But yeah, I think they will. Like water is wet. But I think that they will go through another patch they will go through these patches of bad form and good form, and I think they'll come through eventually. Sack hasn't even started scoring the goals that he's expected to score, and Salah has been in and out of form. So I think that obviously they're missing players like Trent, Luis Diaz. I still believe that they needed to get a GM. But they can power through to January and enforce in January and get the balance that they need to kick on for the rest of the season.
So let me chime in there. For Liverpool to finish in the top four, which is your prediction, which I respect, that means the likes of Chelsea, the likes of Manchester United, Tottenham, Crystal Palace, Aston Villa. If you look at the difference between the team in the 8th position, even down to the 12th position, if I'm not mistaken, if you can quickly look at the EPL table, with the from 4th position, it's just 4 points, if I'm not mistaken. So for that to happen, it means the team around that nucleus, around that cluster, would have to be so bad. They would have to have the terrible season that happened last season. Some would argue that Liverpool had, and the Slot had a very, Perry, I'm coming to you so you can defend your club. And the Slot had a soft landing, the club team, inheriting the club team, and last season, other teams not being at that very best position to compete. But now we see Chelsea, who is 3 points behind Man City, and Man City is 4 points behind Arsenal. Yet, despite the fact that Liverpool are 8 points behind Arsenal from the first position, that's still a long way to go, in my own opinion. Perry, you said it in the fan reaction, that you feel Liverpool cannot win the league anymore. They should concentrate on cup competition. But here is Biola still backing you, saying you can win the league or possibly finish in the top 4.
The league is gone. The league is
I
so
said
gone.
they can finish in top 4. I didn't say they win the league. I just said they
The
finish
league
top
is
4.
gone. The league is totally gone.
Okay.
And as I said, cup competitions. But I wanted to point out 2 things. One tactical, one quality base. The 2 things. The first thing is that since Liverpool played PSG, and a Slot has been very, very fascinated by the way they play, the fluidity. They didn't have a striker, like an out-and-out striker. Dembele was the striker. So he has tried to replicate that in various ways. And the problem with that is this. The Premier League is going one way, and he's going another way. What am I talking about? The Premier League is going physical. The Premier League is going more intense than before. You see games are being won, if we are being honest, by set pieces. You don't have, I don't know, maybe someone should okay, Cole Palmer is injured. Saka has never been that talented. So if you ask me, we don't have those, sincerely speaking, be honest. Where are the creative players? You have people throwing long throws, having headers, penalties, free kicks.
How many set pieces? How many set pieces go have been scored this season? Arsenal sits at the highest rank, which is 9 goals, right?
No, when I say
9
set
goals.
pieces,
Well,
set pieces
that's
is not
point.
just corners. It's not corners or free kicks, including long throws, including things like. Okay, I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example. First goal that Sunderland scored Arsenal. It's not a set piece, but it's a set piece. It came from the goalkeeper crossing the ball like it was a free kick in Sunderland's half, way in Sunderland's half. And the guy looped it long, confusion in the enemy's box. Then Ballard scores against Raya. So now that's my point. Meanwhile, you have in the Champions League, you see Wirtz. I'm just giving an example. Shining, flourishing against Frankfurt, flourishing against Real Madrid. Playing well against Atletico Madrid. So you see the differences. The Premier League is going totally different from where he's going. And in the Villa game, he reverted to what we played last season, basically, and stuff. That's one. And then the second thing I would say, just as Biola has spoken about, is integration. Players integrating. You were used to Trent coming off the flank, Robertson coming off the flank, Gravenberch sitting in more and mopping up. But now Gravenberch is trying to play like Joao Neves, and the problem with that is you don't have the cohesiveness between the players to implement that now. PSG always knew they would win the league. Biola, if I'm right or I'm right. But they struggled in Europe.
I mean,
they always struggled in Europe. Arsenal beat them. But when it mattered the most, later on when they had synced, they showed that they were the better team. They showed why they have the Champions League, which Arsenal do not have, and they showed things like that. So
just in your monologue, you've thrown 3 shots at Arsenal. Just 3 shots at Arsenal. Just in your monologue.
I don't think it's shots. I call it facts, because if you have won it, sincerely speaking, I wouldn't be saying it. As Biola said, mine are not facts. Mine are facts predictions. So it's not like jabs. So my point is, like, at the beginning, because I have a lot of Arsenal fans saying, we beat them in the group stage we're going to. So, but it was different. That's my point. And the league is different this season. I don't think he had it easy because he had a slot team. They had a club team, sorry. This same club team that he had finished third to Arsenal and Man City. Arsenal didn't lose anybody at the top of my head, but they strengthened. Yes, they did strengthen. So why did he come in and win? Chelsea strengthened as well. They bought almost £500 million worth of players, as they always do. No clear project, just buying and selling. It's more of a merchant club. But I'm not.
The AK-47 you have in your hand this evening.
No, I'm trying to say that it wasn't. I wouldn't say it was easy. The only team that I would say
you got the shot yourself.
The only team that I honestly say was easy last season was Manchester United, because Amorim came in
Manchester United.
It was the craziest thing, trying to go from 4 to 3 mid-season, not pre-season. Biola, mid-season. Come on now. Mid-season. So I would say the difference is Manchester United are the only team that have improved, but I think the league is still the same. Somebody was always going to drop off. Last season was Manchester City. This season is Liverpool. And as I said at the start of the show, I think Arsenal have the most complete squad, and I think Arsenal will win the league. Will win the league. But when I look at Liverpool, I just think, give us till December. By December, if everybody hasn't gelled, then I would be the first person calling for slot out. Yeah.
Let's stick on what Perry just said. I don't agree. The Premiership turning into a physical league, as the way Perry has termed it, I don't agree, because the Premiership has not changed, right? If you look at the set pieces, scoring from set pieces didn't just start this season. Arsenal have been consistent in scoring from set pieces for the past 3 seasons, and they've scored over 26 goals via set pieces in 170-something goals Arsenal have scored in the stretch of last 3 seasons, scoring close to 30 set-piece goals. That's excluding penalties or direct free kicks from corners. So it has always been there. And even if you go back to the early noughties and the Stoke City, Delap giving us the long throw. Even Shandijk, his team, Everton, Burnley, they were physical. Teams, those lower teams, they play. That is their own strength. Cause chaos, playing corner kicks, and try to cause chaos to score. Chimamaka, please chime in there. Do you feel what Perry just said, Liverpool's struggle is because Liverpool players have not been able to adapt to the physicality of the Premiership, i.e. Wirtz? Because Wirtz right now seems to be the guy on everybody's lips, but for that amount of money and still struggling physically. And as Perry has cited, he has blossomed in games against Frankfurt and against Real Madrid, which were not Premiership sides.
Yeah, Perry, it's good. I got everything you said. And if anybody is going to be talking about the physicality of the Premier League, it shouldn't come from any Liverpool fan, because we've seen the Premier League in so many years before now. Liverpool used to be, or are still, one of the most physical sides in the EPL. So if you're talking about physicality, you are only trying to pamper yourselves because the player you bought is not fitting in. Nah, I don't think a Liverpool fan should be open your mouth to say all these things.
I don't think he's saying physicality. I think what Perry is talking about is how teams have become more direct.
Okay.
And an example of the directness of teams is how teams are now more reliant on set pieces, on long balls, long throws, tucking the ball into the box and hoping for the best kind of style of football.
Thank you.
So I think that's his point in terms of everything.
Okay, I'll come in there now. I'm talking about set pieces and the like. Every team has a set piece coach. Every team has a set piece coach.
And this has been happening for a very long time.
Yes. What I believe we should be talking about is giving credit to the set piece coaches because they are doing a great job. The idea is to figure out a way
I agree.
to win. And if set piece is doing the job, so be it. It's part of the success story. Now, we're talking about set pieces. It has been happening long before now. Very long before now. Now, there was a time in the EPL wherein it was no long throws. It was the moment the ball starts from the defender, you just loop it up into the 18-yard box. Let everybody go and fight themselves. And
Route 1. It's called Route 1 football.
You understand? So there was a time it was that way. Mourinho played it in Chelsea at some point. Liverpool were very good at it. The time of Juan Rice, Abeloa, and all those guys. They were there, the points and the likes you get. So they did that. It's just that football is evolving in the sense that they are figuring out different mediums at which these goals can actually be scored. Now, if you are playing tiki-taka in the Premier League, and you keep playing tiki-taka and you meet a Sunderland that is physical both on air and on land, it might not work for you. So you need to figure out a way of getting it done. Now, I'll go back to Arsenal. Arsenal has been the most consistent team in the past 3 seasons. What happened with Arsenal? It's not like their football changed. Their football did not change. All they did was they had to beef up. What I mean beef up, they had to be more intentional about not conceding goals. They have to be more intentional about if they cannot create with stylish play, they can use set pieces to do it. So it's working for them. In the last 3 seasons, you're talking about Arsenal having to have scored nearly 30 goals with set pieces. It is working for them. So when you think by the weekend you are going all the way to Sunderland, they will sit back and come and allow you to play your football when the only plan they have is to play their own football. So let's just shove that aside. Let's shove what I expect we should be talking about.
But they don't play their football.
That player,
that's my issue. They don't play their
who has not keyed into the physicality or into the demands of the Premier League should sit up.
Yeah, but look, I feel like this verse criticism is very unfair because these things. There's something that footballers always say that footballers never determine their players' style. And I remember there's the group that I'm on is Perry, and they were talking about Ryan Sterky, and we made a point that look, Verse was overpriced, Sterky was underpriced. That is the truth. They're both wonder kids. They're both players who have really high ceilings, and I think in the next 3-4 years we'll see them as 2 of the best attacking midfielders in the world, amongst other players probably. But you can clearly see that Florian Wirtz is coming into a league that is more physical than where he's been. Florian Wirtz is coming into a league that doesn't give him the time and space to breathe like they had in the Bundesliga. He's coming from a team that did all the hard work for him. They took the defenders away from him. And you can't just expect him to just hit the ground running in the Premier League. It will take time. Some players do it, yes. But there's a reason why Man United went down that path of getting Matheus Cunha, getting Benjamin, what's his name now? Brian Mbeumo. Because they were like, these are players that are proven in the Premier League. Now we're linked with centre midfielders. I think 3 out of the 4 centre midfielders we're linked are playing in the Premier League. Baleba, Adam Watson, Elias Anderson, and then obviously the stellar guy from Stuttgart. But 3 of the 4 of them play in the Premier League. There's a reason for that. And I think, I don't know why people come for this boy, and it hurts me because a lot of people never watched him outside of Champions League games.
I disagree with you. What people
it's true because that is why the limelight is on his face now.
You get to understand. You get to understand that he broke. Hold on, Ebiola. He broke the British record. Let's not forget that. So,
he didn't break the British record.
Hold on.
No.
Sorry,
he didn't break the British record.
Liverpool
broke the British record
because
nobody begs Liverpool to pay for him. Bayern were like,
making this thing look so good. There was a time that Fernando Torres was bought by Chelsea, and they finished him. There was a time that Modric was bought by Chelsea for 100 million. And everything was on his head.
So
this guy's
you didn't say that it's the right thing to do.
Enzo Fernandez press.
No.
Normal, it's expected.
It's the Premier League thing to do, so I'm not bothered.
It's expected.
My concern My only
And it's
what
so
me I'm
much since
saying is-
my only
concern
I'll say what
is
I'll
this.
say.
This is just my own concern is this. Players take time. Some players take time to adapt. Example, Gravenberg that we raved about and was in the team of the season and all that. Young player of the season.
Yeah.
His first
People
season,
watching my
he was
Bayern.
he was
You guys watching
terrible
my
at
Bayern.
his first
People
season.
watching my
Firmino,
Did
the
anyone
same
watch
thing.
my Bayern? Because
Arsenal fans that are shouting Gabriel.
So
The
easy.
first season Gabriel was here. You know who he was. You know he was all over the place. Now my point
Yeah,
is
we
this
know,
is one
but
thing I'm saying
the
that
price tag,
for
the price
6
tag
months,
is.
no,
Yeah.
this is my point. This is my own 6 months. I give Wirtz. I'm not giving him a year. 6 months. You know I say 6 months because in 6 months you get to play everybody at least the first time before you play again the second time. I have seen situations where, for example, the Madrid game, he should have 2 assists. The Frankfurt game, he should have a goal. The problem that is happening is the team on his own is growing. As Biola said, the team is trying to balance itself out, and he is at the center of it. The funny fact, I hear Wirtz. Isak is more expensive than Wirtz. It's just that Wirtz
Yeah,
is the
both
one
of
that
them.
is fit.
has been slow.
No,
I mean, if you're actually saying
it's just that Wirtz is the one that is fit.
We're calling out Wirtz.
What's still coming to Isak? What's still coming to
No,
Isak?
but I mean, this is the point.
We started from
That's a typical example. Nobody's calling out Isak. Why? Because he scored 20 goals in the Premier League before. And this is my problem with, and this is the reason why I stopped watching EPL. Because most people that watch EPL are only watching EPL. EPL fanboys piss me off. Because they only watch EPL, they don't watch football. Everybody just watches EPL
because of Madrid.
I-
Because of Man U. That's
And
why you
then-
stopped watching EPL. Because of Man U.
No, but this
You
is
were
the point.
depressed. You were depressed.
I feel like many people that come for Florian Wirtz have never watched him play outside of Liverpool. And that is what pisses me off. Because if you have actually watched Wirtz play, if you watch him play in Germany, if you watch him play at Bayer Leverkusen, you will know the kind of player he is. The same reason why when Kai Havertz got a lot of stick when he was not hitting the ground running at Chelsea, I was like, you people have not watched this boy play. Havertz was like God in front of Florian Wirtz in Leverkusen. I remember when Wirtz broke into Leverkusen team, he was supposed to be the next best thing after Kai Havertz. That was how good he has been. But the Premier League is a different beast. And sometimes some players just don't get into the rhythm of the league. Sometimes it takes them time. And let's be honest, how many players have come into the Premier League hitting the ground running the way, for example, Bruno Fernandes has? I want somebody to mention one player that hits the ground running the way Bruno Fernandes did when he entered the Premier League. It's very hard to find someone like that. But because Florian Wirtz cost 100 and something million, all of a sudden he's supposed to be the next best thing.
So Biola, so yes, I get your point, I understand your point, but let's look at it from this angle. During the transfer period before the league started, when Liverpool were interested in all the players they were buying, the whole thing we were hearing from Liverpool fans was once Perry, no, don't disagree with me. Don't disagree with me. The world is a global village. Internet,
Biola, you have all my chats.
No.
That's why.
You might not say that. You might not say that. You might not say that because
a friend of ours was
that's
like,
what I'm saying.
I'm not comfortable with all these players. I'm not comfortable
Exactly.
with all. You were there.
So the angle.
Even me, I said it.
The angle.
The signing of Wirtz did not make any sense. I said it because it's not a perfect fit into Liverpool system.
To be fair on Perry, I know Perry mentioned it a few episodes back where he said in terms of bringing these guys together, the tactics Slot needs to, put in to make these players flourish might be difficult for Slot to achieve. He said it, and I give credit to him. But the world is a global village. Technology has made the world a global village. We hear Liverpool fans, the way they were being boastful. I'm sure those Liverpool fans didn't understand football. They understand tactics. They said it, that as of that time, they've gotten Kirkers, they've gotten the young kid, they've gotten the goalkeeper, they've gotten, which other player did they buy? Brought in Ekitike. Did they buy Ekitike before Isak or Isak before Ekitike?
Ekitike before Isak.
Ekitike
before Isak.
So, and they bought Ekitike, they bought Wirtz, and the last player that they were going for was Isak. And what we were hearing was once Isak joins Liverpool, Liverpool walks the league. All others follow. Liverpool wins the league.
Once Gehi.
And I don't know why.
It was Gehi that was complete.
He was Gehi.
No.
You see,
So
now take that statement away and start pitting Liverpool or being a pity party
You
against
understand?
Slot.
I would like to
No,
comment
no,
after
no,
you.
no, no.
However
No.
which way Slot wants to figure it out, for us, you're the defending champions. And for me, they are moving from a style that worked for them. I'm moving, and I take in Perry's monologue, moving directly away from what worked for them and trying to go do the galactical thing. You want to play sexy football? No, it's not working. And Slot himself goes to the press conferences before games and says these things that he wants teams to play in a particular way that will suit them. And he said the only team that played the particular way that suit what they wanted was Aston Villa and Real Madrid. So everybody, if you want to beat Liverpool, just keep throwing the long balls.
Yeah.
Cause chaos.
I'd like to come in there.
Yeah.
Biola, I totally understand you. Now, the fact you're talking about people not watching the Bundesliga, I disagree with you. A whole lot of us do that. Now, what you should get to understand again is in the EPL, nobody is after you losing or you playing stupid football. The moment there is a price tag as heavy as that on your head, that is the first pressure you have to deal with. And it's the EPL. He played so well in the Bundesliga. There's no problem. Ekitike they are talking about has been in Bundesliga, right? And he has come into Liverpool.
Played very well.
And he's been doing well. So if you're trying to pick out Wirtz and try to pamper or rub makeup on his performances and the likes, no. First of all, he came with a price tag. Irrespective of how much the price. The funny thing, he came with a whole lot. So
he broke the record first.
Yeah, he broke
the record first.
I don't know if you get. So I don't expect, personally, I wouldn't expect to spend such an amount on such a player, and you think there wouldn't be pressure on him. It's not possible. I remember when Chelsea did their signing of Enzo Fernandez, Caicedo, Modric, and the likes. You guys were not here. Ace ate me blue black. He was always singing it that we have spent so and so billion. Still yet, we're in shambles. But the funny thing is, it is true. We spent a whole lot of money on these players. For you to even pay such amount, it only means these guys are magicians. Empathize.
Because you
bro, it was not brought in free. No empathy in this case.
I understand where you're coming from. I understand where you're coming from. I understand where you're coming 15. From. I think the reason why it's easy for me to talk like this is because I have a soft spot for the guy. He's like, maybe that's why it's easy for me to empathize.
Apology.
And I would say that if anything, if we're coming for Florian Wirtz, we could be coming for Issa. Because the irony is the proven Premier League players that Liverpool have signed Isak hasn't been good this year. Kirkes hasn't been good this year. Sure. And unfortunately, maybe if they got him here, he would have looked like it. But like we just need to learn to give players. Again, Gravenberch was when he went from Ajax to Bayern, he couldn't get a shirt, he couldn't get a minute. He looked like like another flop like Van der Beek and the rest. He comes to Liverpool, he's reinvented himself, as a deep line playmaking kind of defensive midfielder when he's actually more of an attacking player. And we've seen it that sometimes players just need time. It's something that we've seen over the years. But I also get your point because fans will always be fans. If you cannot throw your opponents or your opposition in the time of their downfall, when do you want to throw them? And we've seen it with Anthony. So much money, and all of a sudden, he's gone for.
Anthony was and every week roasted.
Oh.
Yeah. So I completely get it. But I feel like we should just for the sake of Florian Wirtz, because he's my guy.
You wished, bro.
He's my guy. Let's have.
Well, we get the points. So Liverpool as a team, Slot has a lot of work to do, in my own opinion. For me, I feel the league is gone. I share. Nah.
Oh no,
congratulations. It's been 20 years in the making.
Thank you. Think about. Thank you. I share Perry's opinion. It's gone. The league is gone because if you look at it, 8 points. And for me, the way I'm looking at the league right now, that means for Liverpool to try to win the league, that means teams like Arsenal, Man City, Chelsea Manchester United would have to go bad, like piss poor.
For Liverpool to win the league, they have to win 27 games. It's crazy.